Welcome to Tech in the Car. I am Oliver and this is the all-electric CUPRA Born. I have to start off by saying a big thank you to Marshall Sayat in CUPRA here in Oxford for lending me this car. So there haven't been any videos of this car in the UK yet, so this is one of the first. So in this video I'm going to show you around it, but first of all let's start talking about this car, what it means, what it's about, and what is CUPRA. So I've done videos on the CUPRA Formentor and on other CUPRA cars as well on this channel, please check them out. But this is Seat's first all-electric car, and this car is based off the MEB platform that Volkswagen Group uses, same as the ID.3, and this is indeed the ID.3's sportier cousin. It takes everything that VW put into the ID.3 and makes it even better. This has got more power depending on the trim, and it goes even further. This color, Vapor Grey, this is a free color. There are 6 color options, including a really beautiful metallic blue called Aurora Blue, which is a premium metallic. The one thing that you get with all Cupras is you get these beautiful copper accents, and I love them. You've got the CUPRA logo here, and then you've got the copper accents down the front here of the bumper, which just makes it really stand out. You've got a lower nose than the ID.3, and it comes together with these triangular headlights which actually light up when you come over to the car when you turn it on, and they look fantastic at the night as well. And there are little details in the headlamps as well, including little triangles there which also light up. And we've got a much shorter bonnet. There's no frunk on this car, but you do have access to fluids that you need to top up if you open up this, which we'll do in a little bit. In terms of shape and overall size and dimensions, it's very similar to the ID.3, and as you look around it you will see those similarities happen. Let's talk about batteries. With a 58 kilowatt hour battery, you get around 264 miles of range, you get 204 PS, so around 200 horsepower, and you can do 0 to 62 in 7.3 seconds. If you go up to the 77 kilowatt hour battery, then you can also get 230 horsepower with the e-boost mode, and that will give you up to 330 miles of range, which is a really good range. And then there's a middle as well. You can still get the 58 kilowatt hour battery. However, this time you can get 230 horsepower, and this can do 0 to 62 in 6.6 seconds. So the fastest out of all of them, but it hasn't got as much power, and it doesn't have quite as much range as the top 77 kilowatt hour with the e-boost. This car has the on-the-road price of £33,735 for the V1 trim with a 58 kilowatt hour battery and 204 horsepower, which, like I said, does about 260 miles of range, up to about £44,000 for the V3 top spec. This is a V3 as well, which has, as I mentioned, 230 horsepower and a range of 330 miles. Let's talk options. There's 2 options with the tech pack. There's an M and an L. With the M you get keyless entry, wireless charging and vehicle 2X, and then with the L you also get automatic parking, which is very handy. You can press a button and the car will park itself. And they both include something called Car 2X, which lets your car communicate with other cars, and it will be able to share information such as traffic and also communicate with traffic lights potentially when that technology comes. So it's quite foolproof in that, and also that is available on the ID.3, so that's something the range of electric cars can talk to each other with, and it's a clever idea. You also have the option of Dynamica inside. So we'll look at the inside in the middle, but that's basically Alcantara suede finish, and you've got 2 options. You've got a grey or a blue color option, and then you also got the ability to add the DCC, the DCC being the dynamic chassis control, which changes how the suspension handles depending on the button that you press. So if you want it to be firmer, it'll be firmer. If you want it to be softer, it'll be softer. And there are different mode buttons. That's about £700. The Tech Pack M is about £700, Tech Pack L is about £900. We also have the option of Beats Audio, which is a 9-speaker system with 325 watts of power, and then maybe the most useful feature for an electric car, a heat pump, which is about a £900 option. And heat pumps are really good because they take the air from the outside and they basically turn it into colder or warmer air depending on what's needed, which means they don't need to use the battery as much, and it means you save efficiency and you save range. Heat pumps are really good, and I would recommend it if you buy an EV if it's an option, because it helps future-proof the car and it makes it more efficient as well. Let's talk about the side design. So I think the best place to start is probably with these wheels. This car has 20-inch wheels. There are choices of 18, 19 and 20-inch wheels. There are 5 different wheel choices in the UK. These are some of the sportier looking wheels. These are similar to the wheels I had on my CUPRA Leon 310 Estate, if you watch that video. and they're really cool wheels. There's also the option to get copper accents on these wheels, so it's a really cool wheel design. I love it. Probably CUPRA have the best alloy wheel designs along with Genesis. Check out my videos on the Genesis cars. I really like the alloy wheel designs. They're all really, really good and very striking. Down the side here, this is very much similar to the ID3. You've got the same front quarter here, which is quite large and unusual. We've got black mirrors, and then we've got some interesting things down the side here. This side skirt at the bottom sort of kinks in at the front and at the back in a very aerodynamic way. That makes it look very, very sporty. And then at the back here, we've got this matte and glossy checkered kind of design, which makes the roof look a bit like it's floating, and which is a very nice design detail. It brings up this area, which otherwise might just be a bit plasticky, to make it look like a design feature, which is very clever. Then we've got sort of wheel arches here, which come out quite a bit, very reminiscent of the ID3, of course, built on the same platform. And they come around here to these CUPRA wraparound rear lights. We have a little spoiler here, which comes down, and the rear window is quite small, similar to the ID3. There's plenty of visibility. At the rear of the CUPRA Born, we've got this fantastic design. It continues into the back. We've got this light bar, which is a sign of an electric car, which I love a light bar. They look amazing. We've got the CUPRA logo with this carbon fiber background. We've got the CUPRA logo in these beautiful copper accents, which I really love. We've got an interesting design down the side here, and then we've got this diffuser, which is body colored, which looks really, really good. It's a really, really cohesive design, which I really, really like. Let's have a look at space in the rear. So we've got 385 litres of space at the back of the CUPRA Born. We've got plenty of tether points and hooks where you can attach stuff to. This has got folding 60/40 seats, and we've got a pass-through as well. I can't put the seats down, unfortunately, from here, but I can do it from the inside. We've got a lip here, which is there, and we've got some sort of protection on the inside here. We also can have the option of a 12-volt socket as well, so you can charge at the back. Let's put these seats down so you can see the space going through. And there we go. You can see now in its split mode, and also with the seats fully down, so it's not quite level, but there's lots of space here to fit lots of luggage in the back. So 385 litres here, and then we've got the extra storage space in front of it as well. So a very practical, spacious, stylish, comfortable EV with little handles here that you can use to pull down and close it, so you don't get your hands dirty in the wind. With Exchange My Car, they will give you the price that you were quoted, as long as you're accurate in your description. They will arrange for somebody to come and collect it on a truck, and they will pay you before you let them leave with a car. You'll get the money first. Plus, you can part exchange if you want to against over 80,000 cars from reputable dealers, and they will even settle your finance for you. And if you have a van, you can also trade it in or sell it. CUPRA is a lifestyle and sports brand with a passion for racing. You can see that with this design. This is designed in Barcelona. It has that CUPRA flair, that Spanish flair, and it's built in Germany, just like all the other VW cars are on this range, on the MEB platform. So you've got that German build quality, and you've got that fantastic passion. The powertrain on the CUPRA Born uses a 16,000 RPM fully synchronous magnetic motor, which is rear wheel drive across a single speed gearbox, and that goes through a rear differential, which makes it very, very sporty to drive. And of course, as I mentioned already, it's got wider wheels than the ID3, which again adds to that sporty feel along with the design. The CUPRA Born uses a water-cooled lithium-ion battery, which is located low down in the car to add to that stability and give it a sporty, dynamic driving style. Now, we talked about the battery powers, but let's talk about the charging. This car can do 135 kilowatt fast charging, which means 7 minutes can add 62 miles of range to this car. And you can go from 5% to 80% in about 35 minutes if you have the 77 kilowatt hour battery option. What about rear space in the back of the CUPRA Born? So the first thing, these doors open very, very wide. So that's great if you're trying to get in and out of the car. I'm about 178 and I've got quite a lot of space above my head here. This is very spacious. It's quite upright in the back, like the ID3. We've got this beautiful Dynamica Alcantara suede finish on these seats at the back. The interior of this car is all recycled materials. We've got suede, Alcantara, plastics, all feel really, really nice. And it's also delivered to the dealer with net carbon zero emissions, which is great to know as well. In terms of space here, we've got these sport seats at the front, these bucket seats, which I love, which look amazing, which we'll look at in a minute at the front. They do have pockets here. We have 2 USB Type-Cs down here to charge your phone. We've got no climate control on the back. We have a large enough rear pocket in the rear doors to put a small bottle in. And then we've got a pull down center console with 2 cup holders, and this is a split way, so you can pull down the middle here with this pass through and put stuff through from the back. And like I said, it's 60/40 split folding rear seats as well. So it's very, very spacious at the back. If you have the option to go for the glass roof, I would recommend it. I think glass roofs add a lot to cars and make them feel more spacious and just nicer to be in. And that is the only thing, if you have that choice as an option, not available now, but if it becomes a choice to add that, then I would certainly do that. Let's talk about the interior of the CUPRA Born. Now, I think one thing that CUPRA do really, really well is interiors. It is super, super modern and fashionable and sporty inside this car. From the beautiful steering wheel, which is flat bottomed, which has got perforated leather, which has got the copper CUPRA logo, which I love. And then of course we've got our capacitive touch buttons on the steering wheel. Some people have issues with them. They work well. Ferraris have them, so you know, I'll survive, you'll be fine. We've got our little 5-inch display here, which gives us our driving information, our lane assist, what gear we're in. And then we've got our gear selector, which just like the ID3 is on the side of the center display for the drivers, and you turn it to go into reverse, into neutral, into the regen braking mode, and then press a button at the end to go into park. Very simple to use. And we also have a head-up display in front of me, which I really, really like, which actually even shows you when you're drifting out of lane by highlighting the lane on the road using the augmented reality head-up display, which is very, very clever. We've got a 12-inch infotainment system. On the VW ID3, it's 10 inches, so this is 2 inches bigger. It's based off the same software. It's fine. It does what you want. You can very easily see what's going on. You can go through the modes. I personally would use Android Auto and Apple CarPlay and use Google Maps. It works brilliantly like that. Having a nice big screen is awesome. To adjust climate, there are climate controls on the bottom, and you can run your finger up and down to turn them on at the side, and then volumes in the middle. So nice and easy to use. These are not backlit at night, which is the only disadvantage, but you can use the buttons at the top, which are on the screen to adjust the climate. Yes, unlike what you may have been told by others, there is a button at the top which lets you turn the climate control on and off. We've got these widgets in front of us, so this takes us straight through to navigation, straight through to the media, and I can swipe up between radio and then our media here, and likewise I can go between here and I can see our recent destinations. This will show me any phone calls I've made. When the ignition is on, which it is now, I can see our CUPRA drive modes as well, see our air conditioning, and we've got our tutorial as well, and I can go between the air conditioning like this. So I don't need to use these slidey buttons at the bottom here, which not everybody likes. I can just do it like this. And then we've got our car controls here. This takes us to our car settings. We have driver assist, drive profile, e-manager, background lighting and settings. And I love that you can see your driving assistance features here. It's an amazing idea, but you can do it on the screen. We've got a glove box here, which is actually quite a small glove box. Interesting design here. We've got space for our connector down here and a small bit of storage there. We've got these beautiful dynamic Alcantara seats with the little triangle details in them, which look fantastic, and you can actually feel them as well. And these are beautiful bucket seats. I really, really like these bucket seats. All seats should be like these. They're beautiful. They also have a massage function on this, the V3 trim. So I was having a massage while sitting in this car driving over here. And then we've got 2 cup holders. We've got a little door here which I can pull down to cover up that area. We've got a space for your phone here, which can be optioned as wireless charging. We've got a cubby which goes a long way down with 2 USB Type-C chargers. And it's just a very, very comfortable place to be. We've got enough space for big bottles of water down the side of the doors here. It's got a very raked windscreen, so it feels like you're very far away from the front of the car, but because the bonnet drops down very quickly, you're not. So it's an interesting design choice. In terms of materials, we've got Alcantara here. I mean, that feels really, really nice. Interesting plastic design here. Feels really, really soft, but also has perforated design. We've got these CUPRA style triangles here, of course, there as well. It feels very, very nice. We've got our, of course, ambient lighting inside here as well. It's a much higher quality feel and more sporty than you get in the ID3, in my opinion. It works the same way. However, when you get in, there's a sensor in the seat. It knows you're sitting down, and then it turns the car on, and then you just put it into gear and go. It's really, really nice interior. I like it a lot. And it is definitely a more sporty feeling car than the ID3. Right now, based on my exterior, interior, this is a better car, and I would recommend it over the ID3. In terms of price, they are very similarly priced, but I think this is just a step up, and it's better all around, in my opinion. In the CUPRA Born, so this is the 204 horsepower car with around 264 miles of range. You can do 0 to 60 in about 7.3 seconds with a 58 kilowatt hour battery. And this is the V3 trim, so it means it's got the massage seats, it's got the wireless charger, and it's got lots of other cool bits as well with the tech pack too. So there's lots of technology in this car. How is it to drive? Well, this is, as I mentioned, a rear-powered, rear-wheel drive EV, just like the ID3, and just like the ID3, it's got a 16,000 RPM fully synchronous rear motor driven through the 1-speed gearbox, and there is a rear differential to make it more sporty. Now let's try out range mode first. So this is range mode. I'm going along, I'm accelerating fine, it's comfortable, nice and relaxing to drive in this. This mode is designed to maximize my range so I can get as close to that 260 miles as I can do. If I go into comfort mode, I can definitely feel the suspension getting a bit softer. There's a bit more, it just feels more relaxing to drive in comfort mode. Now if we go into performance mode, I immediately can feel that acceleration. If I put my foot down, I can accelerate, and it definitely feels a lot more fun. In the corners, there's a bit of a kick out at the back. You can kind of feel the back moving, which is obviously what you want from a rear-wheel drive car. Although, you know, you're not going to be wanting for any grip in this car. There we go, that's a lot of fun going through that corner there. We've got the acceleration, we've got the power, we've got the different modes. In terms of actual driving, the steering wheel, fantastic. I love the steering wheel. I love the CUPRA steering wheels. They're really, really, really good. Don't forget, this starts at around £33,700, and so I think it's really good value. We've got our head-up display with the augmented reality. Now, one other cool thing is, even though I'm running Android Auto on here right now, it is showing me my directions on the head-up display and in the main driver display. This is quite unusual. It's not giving me the augmented reality directions, which I need to use a built-in system for, but it is showing me directions on here, which is very, very unusual. And it's good that car manufacturers are doing this. Obviously with wireless Android Auto and CarPlay, this car has got the latest tech too. As I drive along over bumps in the road, speed bumps, I don't feel a lot of shaking. I feel quite stable. I'm slowing down now, and you know, it's just very, very comfortable. I've got really good visibility out the front window here because it's a very wide window, and like I mentioned, even though the window is quite large, quite long, I feel like I'm the pilot in an aeroplane. I know that exactly where the front of the car is because it is a small bonnet and it's not got a long way to go down there. So that's pretty great to know that you have that reassurance with that. If we're talking about the driver assistance features, I've now turned on the adaptive cruise control and the lane assist, and I'm setting my speed for 30 miles an hour, and I'm getting the information in that display in the middle and also on the head-up display, telling me, still telling me where I'm going, still giving my directions, but also telling me where I am on the road in terms of the adaptive cruise control. I can see it in the head-up display to the distance to the car in front and my speed. So very straightforward and easy to understand. So I think having a car which kind of shrinks around you and makes you feel very confident in its capabilities, you know where it is on the road, you know when you turn the steering wheel, I mean the steering is pretty precise as well, you know that it's going to go where you want it, is a really beneficial thing to do. And then we haven't talked about the camera. We've got a great reversing camera, nice, clear, easy to see what's going. If you option the Tech Pack L, then you get your reverse assistant as well, and you get an even better camera system. So there's a lot to like. And what about these seats? These seats, not only do they look good, but they're incredibly comfortable. I've got my ability to control them and get them exactly how I want because they're 12-way adjustable with a massage function. So I can turn the massage function on now. I'll do that. I tried it earlier, and it is a really quite strong massage function. You really, really feel it. that's great to have that functionality when you're driving. Also be good if you're charging the car, you can give yourself a massage while you're sitting there at the charger. Not that it will take very long, because we know this car can add about 60 miles in about 10 minutes, 7 minutes, something like that. So it charges pretty quickly, as long as it's 135 kilowatt fast charger, and if you're on the 77 kilowatt hour battery, which gives you the faster charging as well. Now the question might come up, how does this compare to a Tesla? So I've driven in a lot of EVs, you can see them on my channel. I've been in EV trucks, I've been in luxury saloons, and the range on the top 77 kilowatt hour battery of over 330 miles is very, very good. It's more than most people will ever need, in all honesty, and then you can charge the car fast as well. I think that as an all-round package, this is a really, really good car. I'm here at Marshall CUPRA in Oxford, where they have CUPRA and there is SEAT, and this is one of the first CUPRA dealers in the UK, and it's very unique and it's special, and there's a lot of cool things going on here. We obviously have two CUPRAs here. We have a Leon estate here. Behind me, or behind the camera, is a Born. And then in this corner of the room, we have the CUPRA wall with the CUPRA logo, and we've got a really nice, relaxed vibe in this dealership. So I really appreciate them lending me a Born for me to do a video today. Please come and check them out if you're after one as well. They're really friendly, knowledgeable, and it's a great place to come. What's my conclusion on the CUPRA Born? Well, this is a fantastic EV. It's more stylish, with better range, and available in a more powerful trim as well than other competitors like the VW ID3. It's got a fantastic interior. It's got all the latest technology. I really, really like this car. You should definitely check one out. Please give a visit to Marshall, SEAT and CUPRA in Oxford, who loaned me this car. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe for more. And if you have any questions, let me know down below. I also have an infotainment video on this car coming, so check that out as well if you want to know how that works. Thank you very much, everyone.